Lesson 1.2, Video 2. Examples of slope-intercept form. Let's first of all write the slope-intercept form of an equation given the slope and given the y-intercept. We've stated that a line in slope-intercept form is of the form y equals mx plus b. The slope is the m. The y-intercept is the b, which would give you the result of y equals negative 2/3 x minus 2. Now notice that the 2/3 replaces the m and the x is still there. The negative 2 replaces the plus b and it keeps its sign. So this is your answer in slope-intercept form. Now let's look at a graph and take the information from it. Again, our form is y equals mx plus b. We need the slope and the intercept. So let's start with the intercept. If we look at our graph, the y-intercept is right here. So the b is going to be equal to a negative 2. That's where it crosses the y-intercept, or the y-axis. The slope is how you get from one point to another point on that line. Now again, I'm going to go down and to the right. So to start at this point and get to another point on this line, I go down one and I go over one, and that puts me at what I call a crosshair, where the x and y grid marks here cross each other. That's a valid point. So to get from one point to the next on this line is to go down one, which is a negative direction, and right one, which is a positive direction. Now again, slope is also known as rise over run, or change in y values over change in x values. So if I talk about this and say, what did I do to get from one point to the next? I said my rise is up and down, that's my y values. My run is my x values. So I went down one, so my rise was a negative direction. To the right one for run, that's a positive direction. And I get a slope of negative 1 if I simplify. So my m is negative 1. So our final equation is negative 1x, that's my slope, minus 2, that's my y-intercept, and that's the equation of our line. Let's try the next one. Again, y equals mx plus b. Our y-intercept in this graph is at the origin. So our y-intercept is 0. Our slope, well, if I go again, let's zoom in on this one a little bit more. If I go up one and over one, I'm not at a crosshair of the grid. So that's not going to cut it. So we'll take that one off. If I go up 2 and over 1, again, I'm not at a crosshair. So that's not good enough. If I go up 3 and over 1, it's not going to work. And again, if I go over to here, it's not at a crosshair again. So if I look at that, the place I'm going to have to go to is going to have to be up 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units up, and 1, 2, 3 units over until I finally hit another crosshair. So that is a upward movement of 5 units, positive direction, up is positive, and to the right 3, that's a positive direction. So my slope, or rise over run, I rose 5 units and I ran 3 units, so the slope is 5/3. So if I write my equation out, I'll write y equals 5/3 x plus 0, or just write y equals 5/3 x. That's good enough. And this ends Lesson 1-2, Video 2.